Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to take a look over another Transformers Age of the Primes for you guys, and this time we're going to take a look over is one of the primes that I've been trying to find for about a month or two, if I can remember. But yeah, so I ordered this at the Walmart website, and I'm actually pretty excited to have this in my collection. And this is actually going to be one of my favorite Transformer characters, plus one of my also favorite of the 13 original primes. And the one I'm going to take a look over is this right here. I'm going to bring the tripod legs a little bit higher. And also trying to make sure it doesn't, fall off. There we go. So, the one I'm going to take a look over is the Transformers Age of the Prime Voyager class, the 13 Nexus Prime. Now, before I continue on, you guys do me a little bit of a quick favor, so I'll be right back. Hey you! Stop what you're doing! Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and enjoy your day. So, like I said, I ordered this at the Walmart website, and I've been waiting for this figure to go down in the price because when this figure came out, it was about $60. I will not pay the fucking $60 for that. So I wanted to go down for the original retail price, which is, of course, the retail price is disgusting, but yeah. So here's what the front of the packaging is going to look like right here. This is part of I think this is part of like Wave 5 for Age of the Primes. I'm not sure, but you guys can correct me in the comments. But yeah. So here's what the package style is going to look like right here. You can see Nexus Prime in his robot mode and his vehicle mode right here. Transformed to 23 steps. And you can see on the side of the packaging right here, you can see his artwork right there, which is absolutely cool. I hope we have a wallpaper version of this one right here, because that's what I actually would like to see. Nothing on the top minus it has his name. Nothing on the side minus it has like the other primes also right there. I am still mixing Nexus and... not Nexus, Onyx and... Vector Prime. Nothing on the bottom right here. And here's the back of the packaging. You guys can see right here. And like I said, he transformed to 23 step. And the Prime artifact that he comes with is the Enigma of Combination, which is a important item for Nexus Prime because he has the ability to combine with any other bots. So yeah. So I'm going to pause the video, show you guys the accessory he comes with, and let me show you guys the figure. So let's take a look. So Nexus Prime comes with 3 accessories. Two of them is the guns, which also is his wings right there. You guys can see these two are actually together. I don't know if there's a way to actually separate them, but probably not. But there it is, the wings right there, looking fantastic as usual. Pretty nice. It does have a hinge on it right here, so that's actually pretty cool. And the Prime artifact that he comes with, of course, is the Enigma of Combination. And you can see his symbol right there on it, which is actually pretty cool. Now, if you guys don't know what the Enigma of Combination is one of the important artifacts for some of the Transformers that has the ability to combine. Now, of course, if you guys remember watching the Cyberverse, what had Grimlock and the other Dinobots transform into Volcanicus, and of course the Prime Wars trilogy with the Combiner Wars. I'm about to say Power of the Prime. Combiner Wars. There's this one right there, and yeah, there's like lore of this right here, but yeah. Anyways, here it is, Nexus Prime, and before anyone's gonna ask, where the hell is his wings? Well, that's one of the issues with this. The wings is part of the guns, and without it, it's just a brick, which is going to be another issue with this. So to plug it in the weapons, there's 2 peg holes right there on both sides, and you just connect them whatever you feel like, one side or the other. By the way, the package has arrived today. There we go. And I am recording this on, I think that this is like the 23rd or 24th of June. So I'll probably upload this video probably later on, probably to July, August, or September. I don't know. But anyways. So here's Nexus Prime in his vehicle mode. His vehicle mode is representing a Cybertronian jet, which unfortunately though is not a great looking jet mode. Okay, Now, that is one of the major issue with Nexus. He's a brick with wings. And let me just say about this. This figure is one of the most controversy in Transformer history. There has been a lot of videos when this figure was actually shown on the internet. And Hasbro, that kind of did him dirty on him. But days later, we have, like, you know, more information about it. And unfortunately, though, Nexus Prime, like I said, he's a brick with wings. The paint, the sculpted detail of the figure looks pretty cool in the jet mode. The blue, red, gold accents, and the black look fantastic. Like, the colors look great. But like I said, I'm going to say it again like a broken record. Brick with wings. One of the issues, of course, is the hands are exposing. Visible hand syndrome, yeah, I understand that. But if you're looking like this, it won't show. But of course, you can see the back of the fist of the robot. So that's one of the suckiest part. The other problem is visible head syndrome. But of course, it has the cockpit right there covering up his face. But spoiler alert, peekaboo, I see you. Yeah, that's one of the other issue. Unfortunately, no, there's nothing way to actually connect them to hold this still, I think. No, probably not. Yeah, that's one of the other issue. Of course, the feet are exposed, which of course is at the side of the jet right there. And this is the thrusters on the back of it right there. And of course, this right there that you guys can see is the crotch piece right there. And yeah. There's nothing much of it to say about it. I wish they could add some a little bit more red, black, and gold accents with a little bit of silver on the blue area right here, and same thing on the yellow area right here. And I think by the look of the plastic, if I can do it off camera, some of the plastic had like shiny effect, had little sparkles in it, so if you can barely see it somewhat, even though you can't see it on the camera, but I can see it in person, if you see it in person, if you guys can see, you know, with a good lighting on it, you guys can probably see it. So of course the weapon storage is the set of the guns right there, which is the wings, which is actually part of the vehicle mode, which I know is kind of sucks. But what about for the Enigma combination? There's a hole right there, and there's a peg right there. You could just plug it in like so, and there you go. Yes, I know it doesn't look great. I understand that, but unfortunately, sacrifice has to be made, and it kind of sucks. And you know what else sucks? We have to wait next year for the rest of his combiner team, because next year we're going to have the rest of the combiner for Nexus Prime. If you guys remember, Hasbro post talking about it. Yes, he can actually combine with the Silverbolt, which it is somewhat like a heavy retool of Age of the Prime Silverbolt, mostly because of the connection point and the legs, and yeah. Unfortunately, though, I don't have Silverbolt with me at the moment because he's in storage, so I cannot do, you know, connections. So yeah, and same thing for the transformation for the combined form. Which, by the way, we're actually going to start with that before we actually start with the robot mode. The transformation to combined form is easy. It's kind of easy and simple. And I forgot to mention he's somewhat of a triple changer, jet robot combiner. He is the middle part. He is the torso, by the way. So just letting you know. First thing first is by removing the wings right there, and I would recommend to remove the Enigma combination right here. So, starting off is by folding the cockpit down like so the combiner head can expose right here. I don't know what the official name of his combiner or form right here, but if I do remember from the BotCon exclusive or the Transformers Collector Club, the combination for that one is Nexus Maximus. So yeah. Anyways, untap the feet right there on both sides. Now you want to bring all this up. Well, don't fold the cockpit like that. So for now, you want to fold it like this. But before you do that, you want to bring the feet. There's a tab right there on the side of the robot that connected it right here. And you want to actually bring all of this in. Easier said than done, because some of the hinges on the robot feet right here, by the way, is fucking stiff as hell. Like, I'm not even joking. Now anyways, connect it right here. connect it like that. Then you want to have the tab facing up like that, and you want to do the same thing on the other side. But before you do that on the other side, you need to flip the shit like that, connect it in, pull it like that, bring this out like that. Then you want to bring the cockpit down. Now, both of the robot arms will fold in right here, and this tab right here will connect it to this part right here. So fold it up like this, which I have it on the wrong way and I'm an idiot. Make sure you have this like that, have this right here, so the fist is facing that way, and then you want to connect it here. There, like so. And make sure you want to have it nice and secure right there. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the actual instructions for this, so you might want to actually take it with a grain of salt. And I just realized I kind of forgot something to do, so I might have to like reverse this, because I think you might have to fold this up. Yeah, I'll be right back. I kind of messed up one of the steps. Alright, so I think I need to like fold this right here. I think you need to do that, or you actually need to actually leave it like this. No, I think I have to actually leave it like that. I 100% have no clue. Like I said, until we actually have like the actual official instructions for this, because like I said, I may not know clue, so yeah. Just connect the Enigma combination right here, and there you go. You got Nexus Prime in its combined form. This is a torso right here. Now, just to face it like that, I guess you have the only way to face it like this, and there you go. There's nothing much of it to say about this. It's just a torso. He does have an articulation of the head, what is on a bulging right here. It does go 360 degrees right here. Can look up that far, down that far, pivot left to right. So articulation for the head is pretty nice and smooth. And you can see the nice mechanical detailing of this figure right there, which is actually pretty nice. Now, I'm going to pause the video once again, transform him back to vehicle mode, then we could transform into the robot mode. So, yeah, about fucking time. Alright, so I'll have him back into his vehicle mode. Now, the transformation. Transformation of this figure is actually easy, simple, and I actually love this a lot. First thing first is by removing the accessories out of the way. Remove the Enigma combination, and there you go. Now, first thing first is by detaching the feet on next to the arms, and make sure you have it in this angle right here. Next thing to do is by untabbing the side of the vehicle, the side right here you guys can see. This is on a double hinge, by the way. A hinge here and a hinge here. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. So let's start it off with the legs. First thing first is by detaching this right here. There's a tab right here and going to the slot right here if you're doing robot to vehicle, which is actually nice secured. But anyways, back what I'm doing. Detach on both sides. Make sure you have the arms out of the way, because you actually want to spin the waist 180 degrees to face forward, because you want the crotch piece facing forward. Now, do like this, what I did on both sides, and you want flip up the feet like this, and you want to bring the whole part right here to cover up this gap right there. And there you go. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. Fold it like so. Yes, there we go. This is also on a double hinge, that's actually pretty nice. And you got the legs done. Next is by the arms and the head. So attach all this right here, which is also on a double hinge here and here right there. Bring this out. You want to bring the robot head up like this. And you want to fold the rest of it right here. There's a tab right here to go into the slot right there. And you want to twist the arm facing forward and flip the wrist like that to face it like that. Then you want to do the same thing on the other side right here. Now, all these tabs right there will go on to connect it back again. So connect it back up like so. Then you want to bring the whole cockpit back down once more. And make sure you have the figure straightened out nice and perfectly well. And let's pull back up the tripod legs like so. And there you have Nexus Prime in his robot mode. Transformation is easy, simple, and I actually love this so much. Anyways, robot mode. Yeah, the robot mode is kind of a bit bland if you ask me. Yes, I understand that's why they did it, but it's still kind of a bit bland. It does need a little bit more paint just to break up a little bit of the red and the blue. Is my opinion, you know, just saying. But the figure does look pretty nice. And looking over the paint that is go to the detail of the figure, it looks so badass. Hasbro did a great job on it right here. You can see the combiner head is back there, which of course is kind of sucks. And yes, there's a gap of it right there, which is also sucks, so there's nothing else you can do. But here's the best thing about this. In the TF Wiki, this is actually representing a look from the Transform 1 version of Nexus Prime. Now, if you look at the photo, if you look at the figure right here in the photo, most of them are focusing on the head. You can see the side by side between the similarities between these two figures, and I actually like this a lot. For Micronis, we have the looks for Transformers Robots in Disguise from 2015, which is actually pretty cool. For Alpha Trion, his younger self version for, if I can recall, Transformers G1, if I can recall. And of course, the Nemesis Prime, Megatronus, his looks representing from the IDW comics, which is also pretty cool. So yeah, that's actually what Hasbro did. All of that right there looks so badass. And this figure is badass as hell. And I actually do like his visor is all gold. And it looks amazing. Yes, like I said, he does have some kibble at the back, but it actually does not interfere for articulation. So articulation wise, head is on a ball joint, so it does go forward 360 degrees right here. You can look up that far, down that far, and you can pivot side to side. Arm's gonna swivel, so it does go 360 degrees. Arm does go in and out. A bicep swivel, 90-degree bend at the elbow. Unfortunately, though, because of the design of the wrist only can go like this and that because of the thruster, which is also part of the weapon. And yes, you can pull any blast effects right there. Yeah, that's one of the major issues with this figure. Also, for some reason, the copy for my figure for the elbows are kind of a bit stiff, but there's a screw on it right there, so I can loosen up a little bit. So don't worry. Waist does go 360 degrees right here. It's on a motion peg. And yes, like I said, a motion peg right there. Legs can go forward, back that far. Legs can go in and out. Thigh swivel. A 90-degree bend also at the knees, which is actually pretty nice. And an almost 90 degree ankle pivot. And here's the best part. If you have the feet down, you do have some toe bend right there, so you do get some pulsability option with this figure. And that is actually one of the most coolest and badass thing that Hasbro ever did. And I actually do pretty like it. Now, of course, you can hold the Enigma of Combination right here on his hand, but you can put it at the back of the vehicle right here as storage. And he does have some weapon storage. There's two peg holes right there on the side that you can plug it into the figure right here. And I guess you can complete the look of Nexus right there for the backpack, and you can use his dresser as his guns, side guns, but you know him, he needs to weaponize. So you can plug into the gun right here. And there you go. Now you actually have two options of it. Option one is to have the wings like this, or option two, you can pull it to the side right here to make it more badass. So like I said, you actually have some options with these, and that's it. Yes, the figure is somewhat, like I said, controversial because vehicle mode, brick with wings, that does need some color breakups, a bit bland, and the confusing transformation for the combined form to which side is going to be facing forward. So, yeah. But like the Hasbro company said for the live stream, we are going to have his components. So, yeah. Let's wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, I'm going to give him the final pose to give you guys my final results, so I'll be right back. This is the final pose I can give to Nexus because I'm running out of ideas. But anyways, I'm actually happy that I got one of the original 13 members. I'm still missing 2 more figures, which is Onyx and Vector Prime. So hopefully I can try to pre-order Vector Prime and swindle the last figure what I need, but also I need to order Onyx Prime, which mine is I found him for an awful price, but I got no other option to buy him, so yeah. I know some of you guys are going to ask me in the comment section when I'm going to review Star Optimus Prime. Until one of my boys get back from his vacation, I could finally do a video on him, and yeah. So anyways, I'm going to end this right here for you guys. So have fun, stay safe, and I'm out.